to the sky. Never let adventures pass you by. Be free and follow your crazy dreams. We're living our vision in the RV. Come ride with us and you'll be free.
We made it to Spearfish, South Dakota in last week's video and stayed the night at this beautifully shaded campground nestled along Spearfish Creek, one of the best trout fishing streams in the Black Hills. This is the Spearfish City Campground. The campground is adjacent to the DC Booth Historic Fish Hatchery and Spearfish City Park. It offers a variety of campsites from non-hookup sites to premium spaces with creek access and other amenities. After a long day, Michelle and I decided to take a drive along the Spearfish Canyon Scenic Byway.
This is our first time we've ever been to Spearfish. We haven't really got to see much yet. We've had to work all day today, but we just left, and this evening, what time is it? Oh my gosh, it's 4 minutes till 6 p.m. Thank goodness it stays light this longer this time of the year.
Right.
We're gonna go take a drive down the Spearfish Canyon Scenic Byway. It's supposed to be a very pretty drive. I think it's like 22 miles, 20 or 22 miles there. So then we have to drive that back. But this campground, this city park campground,
It's nice.
very nice
Very
park.
nice.
Very nice campground. Sturgis is, all the people for Sturgis are coming in. It's getting packed.
Yeah.
And very nice place. And then the really nice historic fish hatchery is next door. We're hoping to get a chance to go take a look at that. But we'll talk about that later. Let's go see this scenic byway.
Okay, I'm hitting go.
Starting route to Spearfish Canyon Scenic Byway.
This stunning route is a true showcase of nature's beauty with towering cliffs and cascading waterfalls. Mountain goats in Spearfish Canyon, South Dakota are not native to the Black Hills region. They were introduced to the Black Hills by Canada in 1924. The initial group was released in Custer State Park, and from there the population spread throughout the Black Hills. Over time, some of these goats made their way to the rugged terrain of Spearfish Canyon, where the rocky cliffs and abundant vegetation provide an ideal habitat. Their introduction was part of a broader effort to diversify the wildlife in the area, and they have since become a well-known sight in places like Spearfish Canyon. The goats have adapted well to the environment and continue to thrive in the region.
Did you see that?
Oh my God!
That was cool.
Were those sheep or goats?
Yes. Saw a bunch of motorcycles from Iowa back there. There went a ground squirrel.
Espérate, chido, déjate. Va a salir, que salga toda el agua, ¿verdad? Sí.
Bridal Veil Falls stands at approximately 60 feet tall, making it one of the highest waterfalls in the canyon. The waterfall is named for its delicate veil-like appearance as the water cascades down the rugged rock face in thin, lace-like streams. The falls are most impressive in the spring and early summer, when melting snow and rainfall create a robust flow. During dry periods or winter months, the water can diminish significantly, sometimes reducing to a mere trickle or freezing into icy formations. It was late in the evening and we didn't have time to hike this 1.6 mile round trip trail coming up on our next stop. It's the trail that leads you to the Devil's Bathtub. The stop itself is still worthwhile just to watch the trout while listening to the peaceful sounds of the stream.
You want to take a bath while you're here, honey?
Where do we clean up?
In the shower.
A fun fact about trout. Not only do they face upstream to catch food that the current brings them, but trout need to swim upstream to breathe so that the water enters their mouth and passes through their gills. As far as the popular hiking trail to the Devil's Bathtub, it's supposed to offer a unique and rewarding adventure for those looking to explore one of the hidden gems of the area. The trail is considered a moderate difficulty level and is about 200 feet in elevation gain, making it accessible for most hikers, but some sections may require careful footing as it involves several creek crossings and can be slippery, especially after rain. The Black Hills area of South Dakota is one of Michelle and I's favorite places to visit, so we're sure we'll be back again sometime.
Film site up here, filming site of Dances with the Wolves, that movie.
With the wolves? Dances with wolves. Not the wolves.
That's what I said. Wasn't it?
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Oh. This is my shock face.
Yeah. I don't know what part of the film.
They say 2.5 miles.
Yeah.
And it's gravel.
That's gravel. No thanks. Really?
They got it oiled down so it shouldn't make dust.
It's the Falls Trail.
No.
If we end up in somebody's backyard.
Yeah, they filmed it right here in my backyard. Come on back here. I mean, come on back if you'd like.
The Dances with Wolves film site is a significant location for fans of the movie. The site that we are about to see is where scenes from the 1990 film directed by and starring Kevin Costner were shot. The film which tells the story of a Civil War soldier who befriends a Sioux tribe. The canyon's natural beauty added authenticity and grandeur to the film, capturing the essence of the wide-open spaces that were central to the story. Visitors to the Spearfish Canyon Scenic Byway can see the exact locations where some of the movie scenes were filmed. The area is easily accessible with well-marked trails and viewpoints that provide opportunities to explore the landscape.
You don't like it when we go on these rock roads, do you?
No.
Dirt. You don't like it when we go down the dirt road. That does not sound good.
We found it.
So is this the only spot? Well, I got an idea. Let's drive 5,000 miles to do this 3-second spot shot here.
Yeah.
For B-roll. I don't know. I don't remember anything in the movie that looked like this.
It's been so long since I saw the movie, but if this looks familiar to you,
let us know. Because he sure don't look familiar to us.
I mean, I don't know.
Is this where he danced with the wolves?
No, that was an open area.
I was just kidding.
Take me anywhere that you want. I don't even care if we come back again. And as long as the stars are shining above us, then I just wanna be where you are. I don't wanna close my eyes, then I might miss a moment of you. And as long as the sun shines upon us, and I just wanna be where you are. 'Cause with you I feel no fear, and when you hold me, all my wounds are healed.
7:15. What time was it when we started? Like,
7.
we just left it.
No. 6.
6, yeah.
6.
And we stopped only a couple times.
Yeah, but then we went the almost 3 miles down the gravel road to find that film site.
Yeah. Film site. That's all it said. I can't believe it didn't have a write-up about it.
So if you find the sign that says, the film site's this way, don't bother.
Well, some people still want to
See
say
for
they were there.
themselves.
Get a selfie. We didn't even get a selfie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we're not going back. Why didn't we think of getting a selfie?
I don't know. We got a picture. Doesn't prove we were there, though.
I just wanna be where you are.
We are going to take a little break real quick here and go check out this historic fish hatchery. We've been told by many people that this place is amazing, so...
Anxious to see it.
Yeah. The Spearfish City Campground's on the other side of the bridge there. We had to check out and move over here to this parking lot on the other side of the bridge and wait. Check-in is 2 p.m. to get into our site that is full hookups. This is the river that runs along the campgrounds and has a lot of trout in it. And there's the fish hatchery. And there's the campground. Y'all are probably thinking, What can be so special about a fish hatchery? Well, this place isn't your normal fish hatchery. Besides being conveniently located directly across from the Spearfish City Campground we're staying at, this fish hatchery is historic. It's the D.C. Booth Historic National Fish Hatchery. This place stands as a living testament to the early efforts of fish conservation in the United States. Established in 1896, the hatchery is one of the oldest of its kind, originally named the Spearfish National Fish Hatchery. It was later renamed in honor of its first superintendent, DeWitt Clinton Booth, a dedicated fisheries pioneer who played a key role in the development of fish culture techniques still in use today. The hatchery is bordered by the tranquil Spearfish Creek, with a backdrop of towering pines and rugged hills that embody the natural beauty of the area. The grounds are meticulously maintained, reflecting the pride and care that has gone into preserving this historic site for over a century. The hatchery's main building, a striking Victorian-style structure, serves as the centerpiece of the complex. This historic building, constructed in 1899, now houses the museum where visitors can explore exhibits detailing the history of fish culture in the United States, the role of the hatchery in replenishing fish populations, and the life of D.C. Booth himself. Unfortunately, the museum is currently closed for major exhibit renovations at the time of our visit, but is planned to reopen sometime in 2025. We hear that the museum's displays are rich with artifacts, photographs, and documents that tell the story of how this hatchery contributed to the conservation and restoration of native fish species, particularly trout in American waters. A worker here told us that D.C. Booth used to live in the upstairs by himself. Behind the main building, you'll find the hatchery raceways, long, narrow pools where fish are reared. These raceways, once bustling with activity as hatchery workers tended to thousands of trout, are now mostly home to display fish, including massive rainbow and brown trout that glide gracefully through the water. We found ourselves mesmerized by the sheer size and beauty of these fish, which have become a living legacy of the hatchery's mission. This is the Booth House. According to what we've learned, it was constructed for D.C. Booth after his marriage, allowing him to move out of the upstairs quarters of what is now the museum, creating more space for his growing family. The Booth House is open for tours to visitors who would like to learn about the history of the house and the families that lived and worked at the hatchery.
Interesting.
So if you wouldn't mind signing our guest registry
Sure.
right here on the table, it helps us with our grades. She was a piano teacher, so she converted us into a music room. The furniture here is like when you and I move, we take our stuff with us. None of this belonged to the booths. But someone let us use this piano in here to mark the fact that it is a music room. This is a box piano, sometimes referred to as a coffin piano. Kind of unusual, but you'll notice that the keyboard is off center. It's also a shortened keyboard. And the pedal is right smack in the middle where it's supposed to be. So kind of odd. Keep in mind there were no computers, no cell phones, not a whole lot of anything. So they actually talked when they sat around the table and had a meal together. There's two kinds of lights here. We have the wired lamps, sconces on the wall, and here is an oil lamp. About the time they were building the house, the booths were offered the opportunity to pay $50 and have the house wired for electricity. And they elected to do that, and that was a smart move because that was January when they moved in, and there was no electricity in the park at that time. There was none in Spearfish. By April, there was.
You mentioned Herbert Hoover was a big fan of Booth. What was Booth's history and why he was a big fan of Booth?
Well, he built this park to what it is. I mean, he designed it, built it, worked it. Now there's several staff members that do the things that he did, and of course things are easier today because of the care of the fish. A lot of it is on computer. Whereas he would live in the museum upstairs and he could look out the window and check and make sure everything was okay. There's only two things that are original, and that's the floor, which we resurfaced a couple of years ago all the way through. And the kitchen sink, not the faucet, but the sink. And the ice would melt and the basin would be carried outside to be emptied by the children. Quite a classic.
They hold weddings here, and it is said if you get married in Ruby's garden, you will never get divorced. And so far to this day, that is held true. Next to the house, the ice house and the fish car, both of which played crucial roles in the transportation and storage of fish in the early 1900s, have been preserved.
Engineer, where are you headed?
The fish car, a specially designed railroad car, was used to transport fish across the country, ensuring that even the most remote areas could be stocked with fish. These innovations were pivotal in the successful distribution of fish, which supported both recreational and commercial fishing industries.
I'll shovel coal, Lord, to pay my fare. Gotta get this train down to the station. My little girl waiting for me. Well, the night is dark, and Lord, it's cloudy. I've been traveling that lonesome road. My one true love waiting there to see. Won't that low train carry me back?
those interested in more than just a history lesson, the Hatchery also offers interactive experiences. The Fish Culture Hall provides visitors with the opportunity to learn about modern fish culture techniques and the ongoing work of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. Additionally, the site hosts various events and educational programs throughout the year. The D.C. Booth Historic National Fish Hatchery is more than just a place to learn about the past. It's a living, breathing example of the legacy of conservation and the importance of preserving our natural resources for future generations.
For the night is dark and the sky is cloudy. Traveling on that lonesome. My one true love waiting there to see me. For that long old train, won't you carry me? Oh, train, 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 won't you carry me home? Oh.
As you leave the hatchery, the gentle sound of water flowing through the raceways and the sight of fish swimming lazily in the ponds serve as a serene reminder of the vital work that continues in the name of conservation. This historic site, nestled in the heart of South Dakota's Black Hills, is a must-see for anyone interested in the intersection of history, nature, and preservation.
What a cool place.
I know.
I can't believe a fish hatchery would have so much to see.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. You think of a fish hatchery, just going to see, how they make fish.
Let's celebrate. Call it a day. Let's celebrate. Call it a day and celebrate. Let's celebrate. Call it a day.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click that little bell, and hit that thumbs up.
Call it a day.
See you next week.